After a 4-year absence, the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament made its return to Salt Lake City. The day was full of threes, dunks, blocks, fans booing, and just about anything else you can ask for from a March Madness game. The teams that came were South Dakota State, Gonzaga, Virginia Commonwealth University, VCU, St. Mary's, Vanderbilt, Northwestern, North Dakota, and Arizona. Gonzaga vs South Dakota State. This game was truly a David vs Goliath matchup. A 1 seed against a 16 seed. But the Jackrabbits came to give the Zags a challenge. South Dakota State came out firing offensively and defensively. During the first half they limited Gonzaga's runs. But no matter how hard you try, you can't shut down Gonzaga forever. Gonzaga is a very versatile team and is hard to stop on the defensive end. They have so many versatile players it makes them very hard to defend.
Nigel Williams-Goss comes to mind when you talk about hard to stop. But on Thursday he didn't play so well, and that meant others had to step up. One of those players was Jordan Matthews. Matthews had 16 points, 1 assist, and 5 rebounds.
Jonathan Williams and Przemek Karnowski took care of business inside. These two combined for 16 points, 17 rebounds, 3 blocks, and just 5 turnovers.
They are hard to stop inside. South Dakota State gave a valiant effort. Trailing by 4 at half to one of the best teams in the nation is no small task. SDSU limited Gonzaga getting out on fast breaks. One impressive player was Mike Dom. He came out in the first half and gave Gonzaga fits. He would take Przemek Karnowski off the dribble, and when he had a guard on him he would step back and hit the 3 ball. He also grabbed 7 rebounds and handed out a couple of assists. The Jackrabbits hurt themselves with turnovers and fouls. They had 4 more fouls and turnovers than Gonzaga, and those led to points. So when it all came down to it, Gonzaga won by 20. They played better, they shot the ball better, and they made better decisions. South Dakota State doesn't have anything to be ashamed of. They weren't supposed to win, but they held their ground. They competed and gave a challenge to one of the best teams in the country. So Gonzaga moves on, South Dakota State goes home. Northwestern vs Vanderbilt. This was one of the most exciting games of the tournament so far, perhaps the most exciting. This game was kind of a battle of the guards. Whose guards could make better plays, whose guards could make the shots, whose guards could be smart, and that element lost Vanderbilt the game. Both teams were evenly matched, and both teams had a chance to win. Northwestern definitely won the fan base. This was the team's first ever tournament, and the Northwestern fans came out of every corner just to watch this game.
This element helped the Wildcats get momentum and get them going. Bryant McIntosh absolutely ripped Vanderbilt's defense apart. He would take it inside and then he would step out and hit 3 balls. He was the player that hit the game-winning free throws to give Northwestern their first ever tournament win. As a team they out-rebounded Vanderbilt and had a better field goal percentage and 3-point percentage. When it came down to the final moments, Northwestern was clutch, and made big defensive stops. Vanderbilt made perhaps one of the dumbest plays in NCAA tournament history. After a late basket they were leading by 1 with 14 seconds left, and they inexplicably fouled Northwestern's best player and kissed their victory goodbye. Besides the play at the end, Vanderbilt played a really good game. Matthew Fisher-Davis came off the bench and played exceptionally well. He played 31 minutes and scored 22 points and added 1 assist and 3 rebounds. But he was the player that fouled McIntosh at the end when they were up 1 and basically lost the game for them. When Fisher-Davis fouled Bryant, everyone watching was in shock. Northwestern fans were in happy shock, and Vanderbilt fans were just in shock. Both teams played really well, both shot the 3 ball well, and they competed for 40 minutes. But Northwestern won and advances to the 3rd round to face the number 1 seed Gonzaga. St. Mary's vs VCU. This was a fun game to watch because of the defense. When you put great defense against great offense, it makes for a great game. St. Mary's went on a big run to end the half, followed by a late rally by VCU in the second half to make this a competitive contest. The shooting, the inside play, definitely the defense, and the speed.
VCU is very entertaining to watch because they play defense and they convert that to offense. So when they started mounting their comeback, they used their momentum on defense to score on the offensive end. Juan Lewis had an outstanding effort. His name will be coming up soon when people are talking draft. He brought the Rams back into the game and kept them in the game, but it just wasn't enough. He scored 30 points and added 2 assists, 1 rebound, and 2 steals. He just ran through the St. Mary's defense. He has tremendous speed, which made him difficult to stop on the offensive end and a force on the defensive end. Even though they lost, he was the player in the game. He sprained his ankle and he just kept going. Nothing was going to stop him. For St. Mary's, it was the team effort. Having 4 of their 5 starters scoring in double digits isn't easy. St. Mary's leading scoring was Jock Landale.
He played 40 of the 40 minutes of the game and produced more than necessary. He had 18 points, 2 blocks, 2 assists, and 13 rebounds.
This was his 13th double-double of the season. When St. Mary's needed a bucket, they could go to almost anyone on the floor. Calvin Hermanson had one of the most impressive dunks of the tournament this far. At the end of the game, St. Mary's made the plays, made the stops, and won. Each team gave their all until the buzzer sounded. St.
Mary's played a complete game and so did VCU, but when you look at it, you can't make that many mistakes and expect to win.
VCU committed too many fouls, putting St. Mary's at the line where they converted.
Arizona vs North Dakota, like the Gonzaga game, this was also a David vs Goliath matchup.
Arizona is one of the top-tier teams in the nation and is a tough opponent for almost every team.
Just like most of the teams Arizona played this season, they won by a lot. But for a few minutes North Dakota gave Arizona a challenge.
But when the Wildcats get going, it is hard to slow them down. Arizona is one of the best teams in the nation and has a good chance to win the championship. They play every single play like it's a 0-0 game. With that mentality, this team could go very far.
Arizona is very athletic. They have quickness in their guards, forwards, and even their center.
Lauri Markkanen is a great player and has earned the nickname the Baby Unicorn. This nickname perfectly describes the way he plays and the person he plays like. Against North Dakota he had 20 points and 6 rebounds. He is a leader on this team and they need him. Rawle Alkins is extremely athletic and quick on and off the dribble.
He is very hard to defend because he is moving almost every second they are on offense.
Let us not forget about what Alonzo Trier did. He had one of the hardest missed dunks and then right after he had one of the hardest dunks of the tournament. North Dakota played well but they couldn't compete with the Cats. But, they put up 82 points against one of the better defensive teams.
They had 4 of their 5 starters in double digits and 2 of those scored over 20 points.
The play of Quentin Hooker was really impressive.
He weaved in and out of the Arizona defense and scored 25 points.
Along with those 25 points he had 1 steal, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds.
Derek Bernstein also played exceptionally well,
scoring 20 points and helping Quentin Hooker try and win.
Going late into the night wouldn't stop Arizona from taking the win.
North Dakota played a great game but couldn't help that they were playing a great team near that team's home.
Arizona played very well and you should look for more of that in the future tournament games. So in the 3rd round Arizona will face off against St. Mary's. The first day in Salt Lake this year was definitely full of excitement. Fans, bench players, coaches, and just about everyone was going crazy.
There were blowouts, comebacks, dunk plays, happiness, sadness, first wins, and the number 1 seeds keep their winning streak.
I'd look for more of this craziness on Saturday when these teams face off against each other.